Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Monday, December 16th, halfway through December, almost to that new year. You know what that means, guys. We are getting ready for that New Year's resolution special that we do every single year. I know. New Year's resolution, not for everybody. Not everybody embraces them the way I do. That's cool. I just, you know how it is with me? We're going to take stock of the prior year and we are going to look for like little changes, little things that we can do to go into next year fresh and clean with some particular goals in mind, and really just set sights on having a good, successful 2020. It's a nice round number, 2020, right? So we got to have some good plans and hopefully get some good things done next year. Which means I'm pretty much giving up on the rest of this year, right? Look, I have been hit and miss with the podcast. I've been hit and miss with training, hit and miss with diet, with a lot of different things. But I got an excuse, and that is off-season. Guys, off-season. That's what I'm using. I mean, look at the beard. The beard has come back in. Remember I told you guys, I said, look, if the beard comes back in, that means I'm being lazy, and someone's got to call me out on it. You guys didn't say a word. Like 3 weeks passed, I looked down, and the beard is back. I guess maybe I should put a podcast out, and then you would have saw that the beard was coming back. But, it's off-season. I'm going to go with off-season. That's the excuse. I'm carrying it forward. The other day, I make breakfast for the family pretty much every morning. And one of the things I make is we'll do like English muffin egg sandwiches. You know, I throw a few English muffins into the toaster. I'll make an omelet, a nice size egg omelet. I'll cut it into threes. And then I'll put cheese on one, give it to Sam. I'll put cheese on the next one, give it to Stephanie. And then won't put cheese on it. The third one that I'll eat for myself. It makes me feel good for myself. It's kind of my routine, and I like it that way. I just, the dairy, the cheese, it's one slice of cheese, ain't going to kill you. But the other day, I threw the cheese on there. Why? Because off-season, baby. Off-season. And look, I'm not going to kill myself over a few bad decisions I've made over the last few weeks. Being it, ordering pizza. Going out to dinner the other day, we went to a pizza place, and normally I'll order a salad, or I'll try to find something that's relatively healthy or something a little bit better than the pizza. But you know what? The salad at this particular pizza place isn't typically very good. If I was doing a long run the next day, I might order pasta, but even that I wasn't, and I had nothing on the training schedule. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get the pizza. Why? Because off season. That's what it is, right? Look, I got no races planned till May. I'm a little bit, I'm kind of a little bit out of it. I've realized that, I've tried to stop and start and kind of restart the training direction and get back into that good groove that I was in earlier in the year. And it just hasn't happened. But I'm not giving up. You got to keep up the struggle, keep it up. I've got a few things that I want to do coming in the near future. I've been doing the Zwift Tour of London, which on my bike trainer, if you guys are on Zwift, I know Matt Shore and Jacob Polson are doing it. And the stage 3 was really tough. A lot of hills. It had me really pushing hard. I was on that bike for about an hour and 45 or an hour and 50 minutes doing it. So really good workout there. I'm getting some workouts in. It's just with very little focus and not really nothing. I'm not training for anything quite yet. So it's very hard to kind of put the pieces together, but I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of, it's going to make, what it's going to do? It's going to make for a very great New Year's resolution special. That's for sure. Podcast 301, I want to mention really quickly. That was our interview with Derek Murphy from Marathon Investigation. One of our more successful podcasts in terms of numbers. We've had a lot of people download the podcast and listen to it. We've had 53 or so views on the YouTube channel. By the way, if you're on the YouTube channel now and you're watching it, hit that subscribe button. We could really use the help there. Trying to grow out the channel. I think we're up to, we got one subscriber last week. Thank you, whoever that was. I really appreciate you out there for subscribing. It really helps us out. Anyway, the interview with Derek Murphy. This is what I liked about it. I'm going to tell you what I liked about it. And I'm going to approach this from a very wide angle. Was when I first reached out and I started, and by the way, thank you to Jen Bergstrom for hooking that up. I'd been trying to get Derek on the podcast the last couple of years, and it just hit and miss here and there. I wasn't able to do it. And then Jen knew Derek, reached out and got that set up. So thank you, Jen, for setting that up. By the way, it's not the last time we're going to be using her name on this podcast today. But anyway, when I put it out there that I was going to be interviewing Derek, not all positive feedback. A lot of people have negative opinions of the work that Derek does. A lot of people, they think ill of him, or they're detractors of Derek's work at Marathon Investigation. I like the idea that Derek catches people cheating. Cheating really bothers me, Patriots fans. By the way, you guys are caught red-handed this time. This is going to be really bad for Belichick, this last one. But anyway, I think that we should get Derek Murphy to kind of investigate the New England Patriots. I think that you know how like the NFL Network is doing like the best players, and I think they'll probably do the best coaches. They got to think about erasing Belichick from the board for this. And I'm like really, it's angering me to like very great extents that this team would cheat again with when they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, and that then we watch them beat them handily yesterday, and no one wonders. Look, I know they're the Bengals; they're one win team, but this guy, you're caught red-handed. And you know what? Just like everyone that Derek approaches with proof that they cheated, all cheaters are the same, and that they will deny to the fullest extent they're cheating. And this bothers me to no extent, because I watched that press conference with Belichick up there, and I watched him saying, I knew nothing of this. I knew nothing. I don't know what's going on here. This is a completely different entity. Meanwhile, I'm watching, the video. They didn't put out the actual video, but someone was taking a cell phone video of the confrontation when they confronted the Patriots videographer. And you could see in the background, you could see the video playing, and they're watching the substitutions of the Bengals, and they're watching the Bengals sidelines. Case closed. And you know what? It doesn't matter. And the sad thing is, if there was an innocent, you've already lost your benefit of the doubt. You've lost it. You don't deserve it. And the funny thing is, as I sat there watching Belichick, I'm thinking, how plausible is this story? I'm thinking, all right. And then I'm thinking, you know what? This is every single cheater that Derek catches. This is Barry Bonds. This is Rafael Palmeiro. This is Lance Armstrong. Right? No one cheats. I mean, when do we get to the point where we just assume that the person cheated? That's kind of one of the things that I like about our sport is, for the most part, we have honor. There's an honor to it, right? There, you run from point A to point B in as much time as it takes, and that's your time. That is what you are. And that's honor. We assume that people, don't cheat. Anyway, I want to kind of step back because I didn't really kind of mean to go off on that tangent. Let's go. Let's stop. This is why I don't get podcasts out. So I like Derek's work. I like that he catches cheaters. I don't think they have any. There's no room for cheaters in our sport. Period. Now that being said, when I posted that I was doing the podcast, there were a few detractors, and my discussion group. I will say this time and time again. Ordinary Marathoners discussion group on Facebook is some of the classiest people, because you guys might not like Derek, but there's no drama involved. There's no meet the press kind of like anger and yelling at one another. Case in point was Greg Leach, former podcast guest. He reached out and he wrote on the discussion board just a very clear and concise reason why he wasn't a fan of Derek. Now, I know Greg and I know Derek, and I'm like, well, I didn't really know Derek at the time, but I know what he does. And I'm reading through Greg's arguments, and I'm like, some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's no reason I have to shout at Greg. There's no reason to tell him he's wrong. There's no reason I got to fight anybody. But I took some of the portions that I was like, Greg makes a lot of sense here, and I incorporated them into my interview with Derek. And I did so in a way that it wasn't confrontational. It wasn't like I sat here and yelled at Derek and told him to explain himself. I said, hey, here's a situation. Here is some things that I thought, maybe there's something to this. You have all these cheaters that you out, and you just continually pound evidence on evidence on evidence on them, and they keep denying that they cheated, but they did. At a certain point, where does like that mental illness come in? Where does the denials of cheating in the face of so much hard evidence, where does it just become, hey, this is more than, and we talked about this on the podcast, and it was an informative. I think it was a very informative discussion. That's the way things are supposed to work, guys. That's the way the world works. That's the way, we get so much drama these days. There's so much drama. There's so much falsehood, lying. It's ridiculous. It gets to the point. It gets to the point where this is why I don't like social media. I'll tell you why I don't like social media. Peloton commercial. Really? Are we going to make that much of a big deal over the Peloton commercial? I'll tell you what the Peloton commercial did. I was going to get a Peloton for Stephanie for Christmas, and now she's getting a sweater because of you. Because you made such a big deal out of it. Now she's getting a sweater. It's a nice sweater. I need some coffee. I got to settle down here a little bit. I get angry. I get frustrated. Flustered. Just chill out, people. Just chill out. A Peloton is a damn good gift. It's $2,500. And I tell you, not only is it $2,500, but if you're getting someone a Peloton, you better pay for at least a year of the membership. I think it's like $25 a month. I don't even know. But you can't give someone like the gift of debt. That's not fair. So you have to, not only do you have to shell out $2,500, unless it's been prearranged, which then kind of takes the fun out of Christmas, but unless it's been prearranged, you have to pay for not only a Peloton, but then a year subscription. That's the only way it goes. All right. As for you guys, being upset about the commercial, I feel sorry for you. I do. And you've destroyed Stephanie's Christmas. I just hate the drama. And we had a couple people. So the podcast I did with Derek got posted on our page, obviously our Twitter account. It also got posted on the Marathon Investigation page. And when we posted it there, 2 or 3 people put comments in the comment section. Clearly they didn't listen to the interview, which bothers me. Because if you're going to comment on a post about a podcast, listen to the podcast, be informed. But nope, they didn't listen to anything. They just threw ridiculously awful comments about Derek and about the fact that he's a bully, which was ironic, I thought, if not hypocritical, that they were trying to bully the bully. Look, you can be a tough guy. You can't. It's very difficult to be a tough guy online. All right, on a Facebook page, especially the Facebook page of the guy who you're criticizing, because he just deletes it, which he did, rightfully so. But if you bully the bully, there's a line of just being a hypocrite, right? You become a hypocrite. You're bullying the bully. You're doing the exact same behavior that you're accusing him of doing. Have a little honor in yourself. And it was no one I know, thankfully. It was no one I know. But this is another reason I hate social media. It's just everyone's a tough guy on social media. You want to, hey, it's Christmas time. So everyone's watching The Christmas Story. Who's the right way to fight a bully is Ralphie beating up Scott Farkas. Bloody in his nose. And none of you guys are going to do that to Derek. None of you guys, because you're not being bullied. You're not being bullied. He's not bullying people. He's talking to people. He's showing people evidence that they cheated. Here it is, black and white. And he's had people say, hey, look, I can't prove it. Otherwise, I didn't cheat, whatever. And then if he's got a clear case of a lot of evidence that the person's a cheater, then you know what? That person's a cheater. But like I said, we did confront him with that, with the fact that the perennial denier of cheating in the face of so much evidence. At a certain point, where do you kind of draw the line of, too much? And I think he was receptive to that. So if you listen to the podcast, your question was answered. It was addressed and answered. If you just fired off a stupid comment from your mom's basement, bullying the bully hypocritically, you got a problem. That's all I'm going to say. And this is it's like one of these, and I think off season, oh man, it just bothers me. This is one of the reasons why I haven't put a podcast out, is because I talk about this stuff, I get angry, and I don't want to put this stuff out there for you guys, but I do it I'm going to do it anyway this time. This one, we're getting out there. Anyway, listen, Ordinary Marathon. Let's talk about the Ordinary Marathon first. Jen Bergstrom, we're going to talk about you again, because I put, Jen is a graphic designer, so we had her put together 3 different medal designs for us this year for the Ordinary Marathon. Wanted to kind of get some feedback from you guys, so I'm going to actually put those up on the screen here if you're watching the YouTube. We'll put them up on the screen, and my own producer, I got to mark the spot. So we're going to put them right here so you can see them, A, B, and C, right? So I put them out for feedback. I was going to put out a poll, but it didn't let me put a picture with a poll. It would only let me put either a picture or a poll. And I guess I could have put the poll out there and then put the picture in the comments. Maybe for the shirts, I'll do that. Anyway, got a lot of feedback. You guys loved designs A and C the best. So A and C, I got a lot of, what happened was I posted this out on 3 different pages. I put it on the Ordinary Marathon page. I put it on the Ordinary Marathoner discussion group. I put it out on Twitter. Got a lot of votes from different spots. I saw that a couple of you guys voted twice, which, hey, fine by me. Why not be different than our presidential elections? Anyway, look, I'm not. I see this. I can't go here. You guys voted. It was a very close call. I tried to keep track, and then when I started seeing some weird stuff, I just kind of I tried to keep track, but they were really close between Design A and Design C. Now, Design A is pretty plain; it says Ordinary Marathon on it. I do like it. I liked all the designs, but the thing with Design C that made it sort of stick out, at least in my view, was that it's kind of wrapped by this text that's our closing line for the podcast, which is every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary, which I love. I know. I don't know how that they fit the actual text around a little medal like that. It seems like it would be like, it'd have to be like a giant medal, like Flava Flav's clock or something. But apparently it fits. Anyway, so what we did was we took the design from A and we wrapped it with the text from C. And we sent that off to the metal company, trying to please everybody. Hopefully, we'll get a product that will make everyone happy. I think that was a great idea. Some of you guys had that idea. Some of you approved it for me, and we're moving ahead with that. As long as the metal company looks at it and says, "Hey, yeah, we can do this," they're going to send me a final design, and then we'll approve it. I'll post it as soon as I have it. But I did want to thank Jen Bergstrom for coming up with those designs. They came out really good, and we love the product. So, that's what we're going to do with the metal designs for Ordinary Marathon. Now, if you haven't registered for the Ordinary Marathon, heading over to ordinarymarathon.com. Get that done today. We're going to be doing some more giveaways. I'm looking for sponsors. We're starting to round up some sponsors. So if you either run a business or you know people that run businesses that want to get involved and sponsor the race, we're doing it for the SAM Fund, as always, which is a grant-based charity that helps young adults who have positive cancer diagnosis and deal with that financially, all the hardships that come along with that. They do wonderful work. Samantha Watson over there at the SAM Fund. We are very proud to be working in conjunction with them again. So, obviously I missed the podcast last week, so we missed all of Team Ordinary stuff. Steph and I, we have our little shipping department set up that we set up a couple months ago when we first started Team Ordinary, because we bought a lot of stuff for you guys, the shirts, the hats, the cinch bags, the stickers, all that good stuff. We all mail that out when you register for Team Ordinary at teamordinary.com. That is another. Oh, by the way, before if you're registering for Ordinary Marathon, go to ordinarymarathon.com. When you register, it's $30 to do the race. If you put coupon code Ordinary, you get $5 off. It'll only be $25 for 10 days of racing. We got our 5K, our optional 5K in East Longmeadow, Mass. You can either come to East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, in Western Massachusetts, run the 5K with us, or do it in solidarity on your own. It's a virtual race, so that's fine too. And then we're also going to do the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Atlantic City on May 16th. So if you're in the area for that as well, and you want to join us for that as well, we're staying at the Borgata for the weekend there. What was the other part that I was getting? Oh, so we had the shipping department set up, and for the first 2 or 3 weeks, man, I tell you, we were packaging stuff. I was bringing crates of boxes to deliver to Team Ordinary members with their welcome kit. And it was great. And I would go to the post office with Sam, and the lady would wave to me. We had a nice little friendship going on, because every day I'd walk in with these boxes and she, hey. It was great. Well, I don't see her as much that often. So after the first couple weeks, we had like a little bit of a lull. I admit we had a little bit of a lull, but it's kind of kicked in again. Maybe it's the holiday season. Hey, the gift of Team Ordinary membership is awesome. Go to teamordinary.com and register. You get, like I said, you get all that good stuff. Anyway, this past week we had 2 new members join, Todd Snyder and Lorraine Fano. I wanted to welcome you to the team on the podcast. I wanted to thank you for joining the team, having faith in us. You're both going to want to go, if you have races on your schedule, you're going to want to go to the race schedule section of the website and fill that in so we can announce your race and before you're running it, and we can also congratulate you when you finish it. and follow you there. And if it's a big race, we can track you. If it's like a marathon or any race that tracks the runners, we can track you and make sure we follow you all the way to the finish line on that. It's also a good way to kind of get your local races out on the, give them a little publicity out on the podcast. We have a lot of small local races that people do, and we announce them all, man. And we want to see all your races on that thing. So it was really good to kind of, we had sort of taken down the shipping department. We had some people coming over for Ellie's birthday, November 22nd. And we had kids coming, and we wanted to make sure that they had some room and that they weren't going to just destroy all our stuff. So we put the shipping department away, and it was nice to kind of bring it back out again and kickstart it once again with 2 new registrations. So would love to see more and more people join. Todd Snyder, I saw your comment on the YouTube. I feel like I've seen you around here and there. But it's nice to welcome you to the team. And Lorraine, I know you're friends with Katie Mayo. She's our top salesperson at Team Ordinary. She gets the word out for us all the time. So appreciate that and look forward to seeing you. I know Lorraine is going to be meeting us in Philadelphia also for the, I don't know if she's doing the full or the half, but I think she's doing the full marathon in Philadelphia. Looking forward to meeting you out there and crushing the Philly Marathon. So here we go with the Team Ordinary. So now, because we didn't do a podcast last week, I have to kind of do this a little retroactively. Retroactively, yeah. That's the word. Back to December 7th, we had Angela Fillmore in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia. I actually found out that there's not only is there a Lower Sackville, but there's a Middle Sackville and an Upper Sackville. So there's a whole entire Sackville community in Nova Scotia. I'm such a juvenile. Yeah. I'm not sure. Not sure I've ever really grown up. Anyway, she ran the Santa Shuffle 5K. Congratulations, Angela, on that one. And then December 8th, we had Bill Costello in New Haven, Connecticut, doing Christopher Martin's Christmas Run for Children. That was a 5K. Congratulations, Bill. Stu Weiner doing the Frosty Half Marathon in Raynham, Mass. I just like the Frosty Half Marathon. Ray Magana in Cleveland, Ohio, doing the Christmas Story Run 10K. And yeah, that was actually, I think we talked about that before. Did I bring that up? I think so. But that was actually themed after the movie Christmas Story. It looked really cool. They had the house. They had, I think, the pole that the kid stuck his tongue to. All that cool stuff from the movie. So if you like the movie and you live near Cleveland, that's a great race. And finally, I left this guy for last on purpose because he's sort of been a member of the team since the beginning. He's participated in all our charity races. He's sort of quiet, but very supportive in his own way. He posts his runs when he can. I always know that it's him because he runs the same route out. And I see the picture. I'm like, oh, that's Adam's. That's Adam running. He does the same route. He's been training pretty hard. He ran his very first half marathon on December 8th. Adam Slavin, congratulations, man. That's really an awesome accomplishment. I hope you feel good after it. You should. And, I can't wait to see you do the next one next year. Maybe we get you, a little extended. We get you to a full one of these days. Who knows, Adam? But congratulations. I think that's awesome. And the other reason I left Adam for the end was because, we kind of had a theme there going with our races for the weekend, right? I mean, the Santa Shuffle, the Christmas Run for Children, the Frosty Half Marathon, the Christmas Story Run, Adam Slavin out there doing the Palm Beach Half Marathon. The Palm Beach Half Marathon. One of these things is not like the other. You guys like when I sing? One of these things just doesn't belong. Yeah, all right. I'll never do that again. Congratulations to all you guys on finishing your races. That's an awesome job. And then this past weekend, we had another group of people out there going at it, running middle of December. That's awesome. Stephanie Brown doing the Cape Canaveral Reindeer Run. See, you could do a race in Florida that's Christmas themed, Cape Canaveral Reindeer Run 5K. Good to see you back on the board, Stephanie. I think Stephanie has the most races on our race schedule than anybody else, and I feel like she hasn't been there for like about a month. So it's good to see you back out and running. Stephanie, good job. Way to get that done. Maura Donovan doing the It's a Wonderful Run. I think that's another Christmas theme. Seneca Falls, New York. Congratulations, Maura. Jen Bergstrom out in Golden, Colorado doing the Sawmill 50K. Now, it's called the Sawmill 50K, but they do 2 17-mile loops, and you can either choose to do just one loop, which is 17 miles. It's pretty darn good. Or you can do the full 50K. I believe that Jen did one loop, 17K, which Golden, Colorado in the middle of winter. I'm assuming it's probably a little chilly and snowy out there, but way to get that done, Jen. Congratulations. I think that's the third time we've met you on the podcast. Anyway, December 15th, so this was yesterday, Keith Jones out in Brooklyn, New York, signing up for a race that there's no way in hell I can pronounce, but I'm going to give it a go. Running for Ayotzinapa 43. That's what the race is called. It was a 5K. Ayatsanapa 40. I don't know if that's a cause. I don't know if that's a person. I don't know if it's a memorial. I don't know what that is. But way to get it done, Keith. And way to sport your Team Ordinary shirt out there on race day. I love seeing those shirts out on race day. All right, so I mean that's kind of like it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We finally got one in. I got through a whole thing. I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much. I tend to feel like I did that, and then I start over, and then it just becomes a ridiculous event over here for me. Anyway, start thinking about those New Year's resolutions. Start thinking about what you're going to do for 2020, all those new goals. We're going to be coming at you with a New Year's resolution special in a few weeks. Hope you got all your Christmas shopping done. And remember, a Peloton is not a nice gift, apparently. It's not, apparently. If you want to get me a Peloton, I'll take it. I mean, I use my trainer, but if you want to get... But remember, it's got to come with a year subscription. Anyway, go to teamordinary.com. If you're not part of the team, register for the team, sign up, get your races on our race schedule, get your athlete profile all set up. You got to do that, Todd. Get on over there. I got Lorraine's the other day. But if you need a link, just reach out to me and I'll send that over to you. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.